What's up, everybody? Anybody hear me? What's up, outsider sports? How you doing, man? Tried to get on TV's channel, but he was not listening. See if there's some. Oh, okay, might be some feedback there. So, outsider, what I was going to say when you and TV were talking, that one of the main things that really pissed me off when I was watching Prime coach this year was at the end of quarters or at the end of the half, he was always letting that damn clock run down. There were several times where we had a minute left, or even over a minute left, and he would, instead of taking a shot, just walk him into the locker room. It drove me nuts. I'm like, time is precious when you're out there. Uh, Another thing is when he was standing on the sideline. For Christ's sakes, if there's a blatant passing interference, scream at the ref. That's what you need to do. You need to make your presence known. Make sure that those refs don't get their that they get their ass chewed when they don't call a play right. It stops them from doing it in the future, or at least makes them think in the future. Hold them accountable. Exactly what you said. But time and time again, there was just passing interference calls that were not called, and they could have changed the whole dynamic of the game. And Prime just stood there staring at him with that blank look on his face. It drove me nuts. That's part of coaching. I know you don't want to be an asshole out there screaming and yelling because that can backfire on you, but you also have to let them know that you are going to hold them accountable. And who knows what would have happened if we had a couple passing interference calls? Could have changed the whole game. So outside, are you going to any games this year? I see you in the chat. You coming to Boulder? Oh man, you got to come up. You got to come up here. You got to come check it out. It's game day's wild in Boulder. Starts to get wild. Okay, yeah, the UCF game. I tried to get tickets to that. Um, got on the wait list. I don't know what the chances of getting tickets to that are. Being on the wait list, probably slim to none. But figured I'd fly out to that game if I could get some tickets and they aren't too expensive. I'm just hoping that the spring game is a little more than what it was last season. Last season it was, and in Prime's defense, we had a snowstorm about a week prior to that spring game, and they were digging snow off of the field right before the game, so it wasn't in conditions to really play a game or even a scrimmage for that matter. So it was more of a demonstration, just throwing the ball down the field. Um, but yeah, you should come to Boulder for sure. You'd love it here. Super nice white people here. I'm not sure where you're from, outsider, but you'd like it. They're almost too nice. Almost so nice you'd be like, that's starting to weird me out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, they might weird you out. They might take you back for a minute. For some reason they just like to randomly walk up and talk to you. I was checking out Rawhide's cartoon that he had up earlier today. It was killing me. It's hysterical. I don't know how he got that voice on the dog with Law Dog, but that was cracking me up. I hope he does more of those. What I was looking at earlier were I was looking at actually some of the game film and was listening to some of the Nebraska talk YouTube channels. And I'll be honest, they made me concerned. Um, some of the, you always want to examine your enemy, but they were saying that defense, this is going to be the second year under that defensive coach. They've got a strong defensive line, interior defensive linemen. Overall, the defense is pretty strong. Um, they seem pretty confident they can beat CU. I think it's going to be a shootout. I agree. He does need to make it a series. He needs to make those longer. That little tidbit that he did tonight, those were too good. But I agree, it's going to be a game. It's playing in Lincoln in front of 100,000 screaming drunken rednecks. That's going to be a game. It always has been, just based on tradition. They get up for that game. I think CSU is going to be a game. I know I can't say who they have in terms of players. I don't know how many players left, but they're going to get up for that game, especially up there playing up in Fort Collins. I was originally thinking that we would go 8-4. I'm starting to say 7-5. Texas Tech has some strong linebackers that I think these are second year guys with those two guys. They're going to be tough. Texas Tech is always tough. Texas Tech has different mentality of football down there. And 7-5, 7-5, 8-4. That's a respectable improvement. What scares me about that is that we have 1 year left with Shedeur. We have 1 year left with Travis, Shiloh. Who else? I just am worried that we have 1 year to make a big splash in college football, get into the playoffs, hopefully, get to a bowl game. We have to do something to get a big splash, so that we can pick up some big time names, especially a quarterback for the following year. If we come out and we have a mediocre to disastrous season, I have a feeling that could be the end of this ride that we've been on. We really do have one year to make our mark and to set it up for the future. I think that first game, was it North Dakota State, is going to be very telling, even though I think we're going to win by a lot. I want to see how they come out. If they come out under center, if they come out with a balanced attack, I'll feel more confident. If they come out and do nothing but run pass the damn ball the whole time, we could have a long season ahead of us. Feel free to pull up Outsider Sports if you want to talk. Are you in the? I dropped the link for you, didn't I? Oh shit! My bad.
I've been backstage the whole time.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, bro.
Before
I'm sitting here on.
before you even figured fixed your audio.
Oh shit!
I
I'm
was
sorry,
already
man.
here. As soon as you dropped it, I hit it.
Oh, sorry about that, bro. I'm just. I looked down in the corner. I was like, 'cause it's kind of grayed out in the corner.
Yeah.
My apologies.
No, you good.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I think
man.
it's like I was saying. It's. I think that first game is going to be very telling in terms of if.
Yeah, I think that first game is everything. That's why I kind of want to like stay away from predictions, even though I made a prediction video. But yeah, with a blind, I call it a blind on prediction.
Yeah,
I came up with 7-4, 7-5, or 8-4.
that's what I was
Give and
thinking.
take.
That's what I was thinking.
Uh,
I was thinking 8-4, but then I look at that Nebraska game,
only
and
the Nebraska game is what got me to 7-5.
yep, same here. I get a little. I was watching a Nebraska chat, and they got me a little worried. Um, watching
But
the Nebraska game from last year got me a little worried too.
but well, no, when I watched the Nebraska game, I actually got more confident in, even though when I watched the game and thinking back on it, like um they was bringing up a few points that we didn't really pull away from them until the third quarter. But watching the replays, actually, what TV showed, I was like, they show a little um this I would say, even though they got better towards the end of the year, so it's not a good representation or a good thing to look back on.
Yeah,
But they look like a little disheveled by what we was doing. So I was like, they look like they could be had. It made me more confident about CU winning.
they
But
looked winded
I
to
do
me.
I do know exactly, and that's why I say, but they're not gonna have that winded problem this year because they're gonna
No,
be home.
yep, they'll be home. I think those turnovers really put their defense out on the field
Yeah,
more, got their back against the wall, and once the third quarter came around and altitude started to affect them, that
yeah,
that you know, but I mean, CU definitely did make a better halftime adjustment, and but also on the other side, Nebraska started to go away from what was working. They were doing that motion man the whole first half. That was they had our number, and it wasn't until they started snapping the ball off the man in motion's leg, and the quarterback started fumbling that they changed the scheme up.
yeah. It was a good plan, but it wasn't. They didn't execute.
No, no, that quarterback was terrible. I mean, that's really when he showed his true colors was that game. I think Nebraska fans were like, "This guy sucks." Right around
Yeah,
then.
yeah. But I even though people were saying that after the game, I was like, he had them in the game
Yeah,
until he fumbled the ball, and
yeah,
then he got hurt.
yeah,
He had damn near got to get carried off the field.
yeah. I actually forgot he got hurt. That's right.
I remember it because I was like, I guess it's not so bad that he's hurt.
Yeah,
Let's see what the next guy could do.
yeah,
Even though I'm cheering for CU, it was just like like I said, I watched the TSU game as you saw, I was talking to TV, and I was like, when I watched the TCU game, I was like, this is not they're not playing college football to me. They was just like willy nilly, just throwing the ball away, and I mean throwing the ball around and not throwing the ball away, taking ill-advised sacks, just foolishness as far as I was concerned. People dropping the ball, and I was like, this don't look like Power Five football.
yeah. That
Even
was
though
the
they end
one
up,
game that I gave Sean Lewis. I came out of that game and I'm like, wow, he did call a balanced game. Um, but that was he kept doing the same damn plays the rest of the season.
yeah, he didn't have no other plays.
Yeah,
That's just it.
He had the
And it's
advantage of
not. I don't think he didn't have any other plays. It's his. It's the scheme.
yeah, he ran that same damn scheme,
Scheme. Yeah,
which
it's just a scheme, and it was like this is not Kent State, bro.
yeah. No, that bubble, what was it? The RPO with the bubble, wide
Yeah,
receiver on the bubble,
yeah. I
and
don't even know how that ever always worked for every team. I think that's like the worst play in football.
yeah, it makes me nervous every time I see
I
it.
don't. I don't know how the defense. How you don't train defensive ends. Don't even run at the quarterback. If you see your trips right, just run straight up the field and
Yeah.
pick the ball off every time.
Where you see him pivot. As soon as you see that quarterback pivot like that, you know what he's gonna do and
Right.
jump that jump that route. It seems so dangerous to me. Um, it worked once against TCU. I think Edwards took one back on that.
Yeah.
Um, but and it seemed like Sean Lewis just tried to dip into that well the rest of the year, and it wasn't
Yeah.
happening.
Nah. Everybody. Yeah. Everybody knew that play. Everybody knew that those play. Knew his whole playbook. And I think to credit to Dylan because like I said, I was watching the games and it seemed like the plan was to make sure Dylan don't beat them.
Yeah,
And then, like I said, Xavier, Zay, when he used to run that fly route up the sideline, I always used to just be so bothered. Like, why are you on the sideline, bro? Do you know you
yeah,
helping the defense? Like, how you don't know this? I played JUCO. It's the furthest I went. I tried to walk on to UF to play kick return, and I end up getting kicked out of school. But I know this. I haven't played football in over what I don't know what 20 could say 20 years. How do I know this and you don't know this, bro?
yeah.
Why
You're
is your
giving him an extra
coach?
defender.
Why is your coach watching you do this and he's not saying nothing to you?
Yeah, that's the corn. That's Mathis. This is who I put that on. Mathis and
Yeah, man. I don't. I was just. I was.
or I'm sorry, you're talking
A
about
lot.
no, that's I
The
put
wide
that on
receiver
yeah,
coach.
wide receiver coach. Sorry. I was getting the
Nah, Mathis. I don't know. Mathis to me. I don't know. I just seems like it seemed like none of them knew. Just as disheveled as the players were, seems like the coaches was just as disheveled. Like they didn't know what to do as far as um adjustments and anything. Like when you guys go in and you watch the tape from the last game, you say, "Oh man, it looks like these teams have a they know what these looks are. They know what these looks are. Why don't we just make an adjustment? Well, instead of you coming here, when you come here, you stop here and then you go out this way. Dylan, instead of you wheeling in and coming around, go out. Instead of you going out off of this route, you go in.
yeah, they didn't
Change stuff up.
their mid-game adjustments were not they were pretty terrible. And I wonder if part of that had to do with and your TV touched on this, the coaches not being in the booth. I
You
never
think
understood that.
I don't think it's in the boots because you have some coaches that do coach from the sideline. Andy Reid, what we don't know how much information he's getting from upstairs. So
Yeah. I personally never liked I always liked being in the booth. It's you could sit up
every
there and
play
not be
caller,
distracted.
yeah,
Was it just seemed like you could less distractions, you have a better angle, can see the entire field, see more what they're
no, it's
doing.
definitely an advantage to it. It's definitely an advantage to it.
And I just when Sean Lewis was down there on the field, I'm like, dude, go up to the box, get a vantage point, concentrate on what you're doing. But
But oh, he never had a headset.
that's right. He didn't have a
Pat Shermer.
headset.
No, I'm talking about Pat Shermer. Pat Shermer never had a headset, so he couldn't communicate down to the field
Oh,
what he was
okay.
seeing.
See, and that's a
So did
problem.
anybody in the box have a headset? Like, why did they have headsets?
Yeah, I know. It seems like day one.
Why did they have headsets? They should have wore earpieces.
Yeah, something. Shit, I don't care if they have walkie-talkies. Just something to communicate.
Yeah, they was all on the field. All the headsets was on the field. Now that I think about it, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
That is
definitely
really
some
weird.
disorganization last season. Um,
Yeah, it was definitely disorganized. Very disorganized. When I was thinking about it with as we talking to TB, I was like, man, they wasn't organized. That's what it really was.
yeah,
I don't
it's
I don't think it's sabotage. I don't believe in that.
yeah, I don't believe it's sabotage either. I mean, it just doesn't help them personally as coaches to sabotage it at all. It's just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
I don't know what motivation they would have to do that.
Only person I would give sabotage to is O'Boyle. When you seen there's
That
this
was
play
pretty
that
bad.
there's this
That was pretty
plays that there's this play that Dave showed that I was saying the same play that I think UCLA did an all out blitz, and then I said Jimmy Horn just ran straight up the field into the safety where um the offensive lineman, the tackle, was it a tackle? No, it was the guard and the center and the other guard. The three of them went to block one person and let that dude from UCLA, the best defensive lineman and the draft going into the draft this year, have a free straight line at Shador. Like they literally did not block anybody. They was more blocking each other. There was nobody there for them to block. They was blocking each other. It wasn't like they missed the person. They went and looked at each other and blocked. So I was like, did Bulls like was these or was the O line mad at Shador? What happened on that play? If
I
you
sat
look,
there.
Dave has a play. Have the play up or of a video up of it.
I tried to determine a couple times. I'm like, okay, watching. Are they running an RPO? What is this? Is this play action RPO? And first thing you watch, right, is the offensive line to see if they're in a pass block or in a run block. And it was every time they just went straight into a pass block, and you could read it before it was a pre-snap read. If you're on the defensive line, you can see them sitting back in their heels, sitting back, their butts back. I mean, you can read that from a mile away.
See, I don't. I know how to read that, but I never really watched the old line. I normally watch the play develop as far as just watching the routes and to determine what they trying to do as far as the schemes where the ball is supposed to go. But I never really watched the O line because I'm like, you don't really need that much time. If you're looking at the defense, you should know where you're going with the ball or have an idea where you're going with the ball because you know what play you called. So you should have an idea where you're going with the ball.
Well, it should
And
start out as a run, right? And
always,
then determine
if it's an actual RPO,
yeah, determine if that safety's going to pull up to fill for the linebacker.
but the safeties never pulled up. The safeties always played back
Yep.
because it was no threat
No
of
threat.
you running the ball.
And if you're secondary coach for the opposing team, you're going to be like, if they run the ball and you have to react late to it, so be it.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
We'll deal with that because they're never going to run. If
And
you're
even
a
if they
D
do
lineman,
run and they do break, it's best that you're back because
yeah, but it's not. It's going to happen 1 out of 20 times. So it's
yeah,
It's better if you guys
But they're
just
never gonna run the ball 20 times in the game.
yeah, they're never gonna run the
So
ball,
now
so you
it's a
don't
0% chance that
yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Same with the D line. You don't want to get normally you'd say don't let them run underneath you when you're in a pass rush. Don't let them run underneath you. Well, don't worry about that happening because they're never going to run. So just
Yeah,
go
go for the
deepest
quarterback.
man, focus deepest man. Yeah, stay in a track stance and go after them.
Yeah,
Which I think it was UCLA. There was one point where they're all standing straight up. I don't think
yeah,
I saw one guy with his hand in the dirt.
yeah. So I think CU should run something like that.
Yeah, I want to see him line up under center. I was calling for that all yet last year.
I don't know, man. I think Shador have a problem with doing that. He
Yeah,
might have. He might be part of that new age. I don't want my
yeah.
hand to touch. I had a quarterback like that
Oh, really?
at JUCO. He didn't want his hand. Even when he like took the snap from the ball, you know how they teach quarterback to push their hand up
Yeah.
under their crotch. He used to always have his hand like in the middle, and the center had to learn how to just put the ball back.
See, that's crazy to me as an old school coach because
Yeah,
that was just it was like get your ass in there, up in
but
there.
but then the coach ended up just saying, okay, we just gonna run a shotgun pistol offense. You know, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's like deal with it for the deal with it.
Yeah, you're a quarterback. Like,
You're the
where you
quarterback.
come from that you don't have to, that you don't do that.
Yeah,
And that was like my first real experience in like a spread offense. Cause I kind of played like scat back. I was played corner and like a little bit of a scat back.
what'd you think of their corner play?
The Nebraska.
No, Colorado.
See, it was horrible.
Yeah,
And it like for me, I had to watch back the games, and that's when I like got back to say, okay, Travis Hunter is not that good. I mean, Travis Hunter is good because my real my actual feeling after the end of the season, I was like, you're not a cornerback. Like I've been telling people I think Travis Hunter should play safety because he's not covering nobody. He plays the zone and he looks for the ball.
I honestly wish he would just play wide receiver.
You think he should just play wide receiver?
Yeah, just
I
100% wide
I think
receiver.
I think he's so valuable as far as getting the ball. It's not like as far as getting the ball because that's a possession. You steal a possession. He's too valuable as a person that could steal a possession that for him to be off the field, for
Yeah,
him not to be on the field on defense.
yeah.
But
So
I
you'd rather
don't
have
like
him
him. I don't
both?
like him as a corner. I don't like him as a corner though.
Do you like him playing both ways?
Mm, Offense, like I was saying, TV only third down.
Yeah, I'm this every down stuff is
No, no,
um
no. Not every only third downs and not every series.
yeah, I agree with that.
Scheme them
I agree.
up. Scheme them up.
Yeah,
That's what everybody else did that played both ways. Nobody played both ways
all the time.
200, 300 snaps a game.
Yeah. And you see the results of when he did that. You're getting about 60% Travis on both sides of the ball. It affects both sides of both all of his game.
Exactly.
I'd rather have 100% Travis out there because
But
he's my favorite player.
that's what the that's what Coach Prime said at the whole beginning of this whole thing. Hey, you got to be dominant on one side of the ball to be able to play on the other side of the
Yeah.
ball. Never really saw that.
No. I think we could have seen more of it on offense if Shador had some time to pass the ball, and I think he's going to be deadly if he has some time to pass the ball. I just hope they don't rely on that like they did last year. You need to have a balanced game.
Gotta have a balanced game.
I mean, run the
I think they
ball.
will. I think they will have a balanced game, but I don't think like as much as I like the like how everything looks. It's disrespectful to just say, "Oh, we're gonna win every game because we're just gonna be," even though they have the potential of being very dominant, but to just discount the fact that hey, everybody else practicing and got better too,
Yeah,
and the one thing that I think they lack, which is very surprising because this is supposed to be one of Coach Prime's staples, is discipline.
I was very surprised by that. I thought we were going to have a disciplined team, hardly any penalties, and after the first, was it Colorado State that they started to have penalties? Maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe it was Nebraska, but I was like, okay, he's going to
No,
get
they
that
had
cleaned up.
penalties in TCU.
Was it
They had,
TCU?
they had penalties in TCU, but it wasn't like I say when you're winning,
They don't stand out. Yeah,
it doesn't stand out.
I just thought he was going to clean them up.
Nebraska, they had penalties, but they winning don't stand out. It's not hurting them.
Yep.
And when they played after that, Colorado State, which I didn't think the game going into that game, I thought that was like a gimme game, even though it's a rival game. I didn't think they had the talent on both sides, enough talent on both sides to play with them.
Oh
That
yeah.
game went into overtime.
People here in Boulder were saying, "Oh, we're going to beat them by 50. We're going to beat them by 60."
Oh yeah, and that too. Like I
That was
was telling, I was watching Neely and them at that time, DMVR,
Oh
and
yeah, they were all cocky.
yeah, and that was like I said, man. What couple plays by Shiloh, in
Yeah.
my opinion, that won that game.
Oh, absolutely. We crawled out of that game.
Yeah,
He got hit so hard. It was that late hit towards the end.
yeah.
I was like, he's not coming back.
I
I
was
thought
like,
they had
he's
just knocked
not
out our two
coming.
best players.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is it.
Yep. I thought the same thing. And I
But
was impressed with him after that. I was like, wow, he's a tough kid. He took some shots.
yeah. So then that happened, but I was still like, it's 3-0, and I was like, still a lot to work on.
I was so confident in Mikey Harrison after that game too. I'm like, oh, we're going to utilize him all year. He's going to be a threat. We're going to go out, throw at him. And it seemed like they didn't go at him anymore.
I think they moved away from. I think they did, but I don't think they did at the same time because there was times where he got the ball to him, and it's hard to say. Like I said, I don't. I couldn't really pick up on what their offensive game scheme was for real. As far like the scheme, I knew they plays, but I didn't understand the scheme, the route
No.
combinations. I did not understand that. And hearing from Shador when he went on Radio Row and him saying, "Oh, it was an issue with the choice routes and
Choice routes, yep.
get it." He didn't understand it, and which I think that was a detriment to him. It was not a good thing to him that he couldn't figure out the choice routes. You had a whole season with this one scheme, and you never picked up on it
Yeah.
from
I
what
wondered about that. I wondered about the reads on the RPO if he was picking those up.
he was not picking it up stuff. But I seen some Patrick Mahomes throws. I mean passes that he missed a lot of open players where I mean open reads I should say open reads. He didn't he threw he threw in a whole different direction, and there's somebody wide open on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
So I can't really hold it against him. But like I said, to me, watching Shador, I think he knew what his play was, and he already knew where he was going with the ball.
Yeah.
Like the times when he did go through reads is when Mikey Harrison got the ball, and then a couple times when Mikey Harrison got the ball, they were called plays, like it was screen. So that wasn't a read; it was just a play call, and
I think you and TB touched on it earlier. I didn't understand the RPO scheme that they ran or the play action scheme that they ran when the running game was non-existent. Nobody's going to
it's
bite on that when there's no run to has been
yeah,
established.
that's what I think, and I don't think Shador understood that.
It's like you got to run the ball. If it's not successful, you're doing it for just kind of for optics, if
Keep
anything, at the
the
beginning of the
keep the
game.
defense honest.
Keep them
That's the
honest.
whole point of a RPO,
Yep, exactly.
not play action. You're doing
Yeah,
an RPO,
yeah.
especially
And
when you're trying to throw a bubble screen. You have to pull that linebacker away from your screen that's coming to the linebacker. But
there's got to be
you're
a
not
run established before it.
correct,
I mean, otherwise it means nothing.
correct. And
It's
you
just a
like you
pass.
said,
It's a slow pass. That's all it is.
yeah, I don't know. I think he could have schemed it up better as far as the RPO. If he wanted to run the RPO like that, I could have made Dylan start out wide or in a slot, and then motion in the backfield. Then you fake pass, fake run to him, and then throw the bubble screen. It's a lot of different ways. Could
Yeah,
have did it. Could have motioned him out and then hike the ball and stand on the end and make him run in when you hike the ball and you fake it and then you throw the bubble screen. Like I don't know, but
yeah.
what
There's
am
so
I?
many combinations of it. So many.
Just to change it up.
Yep, absolutely.
You wouldn't have really changed the play. You just changed the scheme, which they would have to move to it. But like you say, you would have to hand it off
Yeah,
first
you got
to
to establish some kind of a run so that they know it's there.
yeah.
And if you burn them on one of them, great. I mean, that's great. They're really going to have to be aware of it.
Hmm.
Um, but even if
But
it's not,
I don't know if he didn't read it or he just didn't trust it to run it.
I mean the runs that I did see, they were like they got blown up a couple times, and then they were just like, oh no, we're not doing that, and they just immediately bailed on it.
But it's still the so-called RPO,
Yeah,
unless it was play actions. I don't know. It looked to be RPO because they was throwing screens off of them. So
and the
why
play
not?
action should start off as what as a pass block if you're
Yeah.
watching the offensive line.
Yeah. But I don't know. Those guys, I really don't. I didn't that they whole game
It
kind
looked
of
like
just made me
kind of
confused.
kind of backyard routes where they just were drawing them up. It looked like they were drawing them up in the dirt. I mean, I know that's not the case, but if I, but that's how it appeared to me. Um,
I said
and
the same thing. I said the same thing. I said the commitment on their routes. They were just running routes, and they wasn't running.
They weren't crisp.
Exactly. They
It
was
wasn't
not
like
running routes to
to
make it
set
look
up
like
other
anything
routes.
correct. There you go. That's how you have to run the routes, and you should have, if with your scheme, you should have the same look, two to three different route combinations that you can you can fake and come into your route to, I don't know. Like I said, that's the type of stuff I used to watch.
Yeah, I used to tell receivers, make line up, have all your mannerisms, the way you line up, everything you do, make it look like a streak, that you're streak going on a streak down the field, and then break off of that for your other routes that are on the tree.
Yeah.
But when you get up there, make that corner think that you're going straight, and make it crisp when you're doing it on an end, on a curl.
Yeah. Zay ran some nice curls. He ran some nice curls to me.
J5, I
Not
think had some good separation and some crisp routes that I saw. Um, but he had, what was that one nice catch against, was that CSU? Was it?
Yeah.
Um, but he dropped some critical balls,
Dropped some easy balls too.
easy balls that would have put us in some third and short situations, or would have given
Yeah.
us the first down.
Yeah, he probably could have moved and got a first down. I just, like I said, my biggest thing to me is that I think from what it looked like to me is that they were thinking too much, and they were not in the game. They was thinking about the game on both
Absolutely,
sides of the ball.
absolutely. I
Mm.
think that
That's what
Sean,
that's what it was. The biggest thing in for Jimmy, he was in his own head.
yeah, especially if he's running those choice routes. I mean, he's not thinking about his route. He's not thinking about catching the ball. He's thinking of adding in a better factor, which is reading.
Yeah, and that just goes back to discipline. Like,
Yep.
what are you guys actually doing in practice or film study? What are you guys actually doing? And that's one thing I'll give that new wide receiver coach. I think he's gonna be on the behind.
Here's
They're
something
not.
that here's something you might not agree with. I want to hear your opinion on it. I said last year, I like Bucky's videos. I think they have an important aspect to the program and exposure to the program. Huge, actually. However, what's wrong with pulling him back a little bit in practice? There were several times where I saw him right in the middle of a frippin' fucking drill go up and stick a camera in someone's face, and it's like, bad route, Zesty, bad route, Saucy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, if I just ran a route down the field and come back and you say that to me, I'm going to stick your camera in the trash.
Yeah,
To me, I was just like, it was a little disruptive.
I don't really like his content, to be honest, because I don't. It's content. I'm not gonna. But to me, it's not content. More what to me what Darius does is content to me, because he's actually, when he talking to the guys, he's not joking with them most of the times. He's actually talking to them. Hey man, what you going? How you got going on? How was your day? Type stuff. I like that kind of content. With him, he's like showing his shoes, showing his rings. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll show the players, and then the players would say something to him about his ring, and somebody say something to him about his shoes, and he'll probably say some saucy, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it too much.
And then right when you're in the middle of when you're watching it, it just stops. And I'm like, okay, did it end or did it freeze or did it stop?
Nope. He just ended the video.
He
He
just
got he got all the followers. They're gonna watch every time.
I'm like,
It doesn't
give us an
matter.
ending, give us an
I mean,
ending card or something. I mean,
I didn't really edit this. I just chopped it up
yeah,
to make it look like I edited it.
yeah. Every time it got me. I'm like, wait, did my computer freeze or did it end?
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
So nah,
I
I
just want to see him
definitely
pull back a little bit in practice.
I
That's
was gonna bring that up a while ago before you brought it up. I was gonna say that it was somebody in the chat yesterday that brought that up. I think her name was Nay O or Nia O. Nay O. Naya, I don't know what her name is. But she brought it up and she said, do you like the fact that Bucky is in the middle of Coach Mo's, what do you call what Coach Mo does again?
he's a strength and conditioning.
Yeah, in the middle of strength and conditioning, and he's in the middle of the practice, having the camera in their faces, laughing and joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw that earlier when they first started because I watched a couple of videos, and I was like, how is this a thing? Why is this a thing?
Yeah. I said that earlier and I got crucified by it. People were like flipping out, saying, don't mess with Bucky. We like his videos. And I'm like, I like him too, for the most part. I mean, except for the editing, but
I really
it's
don't.
okay to have him just pull back a little bit in practice.
He need I see practice, and like from what your standpoint is after they finish running the route and they're coming back, and he says whatever he says. I don't have a problem with that. But in the middle of actually strength and conditioning, like they're literally running down the field and I'm in the middle of them and I'm talking to them
Yeah,
while they're waiting in line to go take their turn and you're talking to them and laughing with them. Like, bro.
that's even worse.
And
I agree.
they're getting yelled at and you're still standing there and you even joking with the strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, da, 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 blah blah
that
blah.
that pissed me off if I was sitting there running like, oh my god.
That's why I said I'm like, why don't none of them say, "Hey, man, I don't got a problem with you doing this, but can you like, you know, they're gonna they're gonna get a water break. You could go talk to them on the water break."
Yeah, just be a little more strategic with it.
Yeah, and you can get like some good shots if you just stand back, put the camera lower to the ground, and you can get some good B-roll shots and
Yep.
whatever. Just give us footage of what's going on without the semantics.
Yeah, the zesty, saucy stuff.
I mean, you could even do that too, but do it not while they're working out.
Yeah, exactly.
When they go into the locker room, you following them in the locker room when they done all that stuff. You're gonna be doing all of that. You could do that then, not while they practicing.
Yeah,
And for to me, what really like what bothered me when I first, well, when it really started to bother me when I actually thought about it one day when it was like they was saying the times of when the workout was, and it was like, and I think they said like it was like 6 o'clock, something like early in the morning before they actually start their school day to go to school, and I'm like, oh, that is right, they do go. And I thought about it, I'm like, this man dresses up and put on all this jewelry at 5 o'clock in the morning to go record a video. Oh,
Mm.
that's very weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh.
Who
And I don't
does?
mind them. I don't mind them wearing. Uh, and this is something that was brought up on TV's channel that people were pissed off that I said the other night. I don't mind what the players gold chains. It's their money. They can spend whatever they want, spend it on whatever they want. Right?
Yeah.
But what I do think is that there's some big donors around Boulder that are CU alums that think of it this way: if you're going to give your money to CU, you're going to want it to help out the kids, right?
Yeah,
You want to help them pay their bills, pay rent, pay for food, go fly home to see their parents. But when you see them flaunting some of this jewelry, you're just like, is that what my money's going to go to? And
flaunting jewelry, flaunting pocketbooks,
yeah, and I'm like, I don't think this way because I'm
seven
not
hundred
donating
dollars
that.
shoes
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's
half of
like,
the people donating don't have or can't afford.
yeah, or even the rich guys. The rich guys, let's say you give $100,000 and they divide that up amongst 5 players, and I see guys with $15,000 necklaces. I'm gonna be like, well, I I don't know if I wanted my money to go that way.
I mean, I don't think people have their problem going that way until they start losing.
Yeah.
That's when they really be like,
I'm just trying to find a reason why why CU donors who they do have money and there's a lot of rich people around Boulder, why they're not contributing to that collective like other schools are. Um,
because the way we just said.
yeah, and people were
Well,
just jumping my neck when I said that the other day, and they're like,
nah.
You're not going to get big players doing that without that." And I'm like, I agree, we're not going to get big players, but
And those people don't care
we need
because
to
of
just
money. That
and
money
our
they're donating the money. They're not. It's not an investment for them.
no, and the money that I would give to or most people are given to that collective, if we're throwing 20, 50, $100, that doesn't move the needle. That doesn't do
No.
shit. That does I mean, that goes to the administrative fees and all of that to run that collective. I'm
Yeah.
talking the big guys that are going to donate 200,000, half a million. Those guys, um, they didn't get rich by handing away money to for people to pay for chains, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. I
if
mean, like, I don't think they mind. I don't think they mind. It's when you see that the chains means more than their play on the field.
yeah,
That's what the problem is.
yeah, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Here they are
The
flaunting these
player,
chains and they
the
go out
player,
pouring eight.
yeah, like what I used to watch and what really like discouraged me from um watching is when they did started losing, like they had lost the second game in a row, and I think they was just about to go on a bye or they came back from the bye and they was like just on the losing streak. And they came in, I'm not saying they supposed to be mad, but they literally walked in joking and laughing. Nobody was like, "Hey man, we need to get this stuff together." I never really heard that.
Yeah,
I
little too
never got that. I
lackadaisical with
never got
losing.
that energy from them that they was like they was tired of losing. And even when you were saying like, "Oh, the school song don't matter," and all of that, and I don't agree with that. I think you could say it doesn't matter, but if you're not bought in completely, it's gonna be it's hard for you to say I'm gonna be complete and at the highest level. If I'm not bought in, if I'm not all the way bought in on this. Like even when it came, I remember when they came to do the walkthrough through the school, and Shador and I think Bucky and maybe even Shiloh. I think their favorite color is red. All of them like red,
Yeah,
and they the some of the people in CU that was there, they was telling them like, hey, we don't like red around here, and they was like, what are they talking about? Man, it's my favorite color. Blah blah
yeah.
blah.
It's funny you mentioned that. I knew a guy who was a coach up at CU on for the ski team, and right when he got hired, he showed up to a banquet with a red tie, and they were like, "Yo, we don't do that around here." They're super sensitive. They're super sensitive, and this was This was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, but you gotta buy in. Like, I don't
Yep.
know. I think school spirit is a thing.
And when I'm talking about that school song, I just say that particular school song. I agree with having a school song, something that they can all get down with, but
Yeah, or
that's that
something. Yeah, I say
that
something. Even if
that old the one that they have now is so corny to me. It's so old. It feels like some old white lady wrote it in the 30s.
yeah, probably Miss Peggy helped write it,
Yeah,
but
Miss Peggy probably wrote it. I mean, it just
but
doesn't
but
something
the
about it.
thing would I would say would set a bad precedent if Coach Prime came in and said, "Oh, we not doing that song. We gonna do this song. It got a new thing." That would be a bad precedent because
Yeah,
you taking changing the legacy, and I don't know. I'm probably a bigger fan of um McChesney than most people. But I like that vigor of saying, "Hey, I'm standing for something," because they don't have that to me. They don't have like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect my pride." When they said it's personal, I thought it was for real, and then when I saw them play, I didn't see it's personal. I didn't see
yeah.
that energy.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of McChesney. I'm sure you know, I'm not a fan of
I
McChesney.
didn't think he wasn't. I well, I knew he wasn't. One of your favorite people.
Yeah. He
I didn't
just
think you were a
something
fan.
about he just seems so
Nah, he can be. He can be. He's hard. He's a hard person to deal with. But I understand him, and I guess I'll understand him until he actually disrespects me, and then it might change. But he didn't disrespect me because, like, for everything that he says is like, have some pride about your damn self. You losing.
yeah.
Like, have some pride about yourself. Be mad. Let me get something. I don't get that out of y'all.
Yeah, I feel like his shtick that he has is just a big advertisement for his camps.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
He
have
taking
trouble
he went
taking
around.
it serious.
Yeah, he went about it. I would guess that's his real personality because he said he's always been that way. He's always been that way. And I think you kind of said something to the fact that he's always been that way. So I guess it's not an act, but that personality. Oh, I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Go fuck off.
Yeah.
That's not a. It's not a welcome. If you don't like it, you're probably a bitch, and you probably wear tampons or something shit.
Yeah.
So man, this is our man. I'm not a macho guy. I'm not really for that. So, but as far as like from the outside looking in, like I like the things that he says, not how he says it.
Yeah.
And I try with him. I try not to shoot the messenger. He's just delivering a message.
Yeah.
I don't take it too personal.
Did you
So
see
I
here
like I
he's
like I like the criticism, and like I said, I rather somebody tell me how they actually feel and not that nearly stuff. That, oh my gosh,
yeah, Neely and those DNVR guys kind of bug me because I mean, I like watching their show, but they
they would
also
say,
are
"Oh, we're gonna blow them out, and we're gonna have this kind of game," and then the game will be over, and then it'd be like, "Yeah, well, they didn't have the right shoelace
yeah,
today."
yeah.
So
That's like Chico when
that's the
he
problem.
said, it was because the time zone change. I think when with
No,
Washington State, "Oh, the time zone, they had to go through a time zone and they had to change the plane." I'm like, "What?"
no, I definitely think that, and that's one of the things why I say toward the end of the season, what's gonna play a factor and see you more than likely losing is because what I saw out of CU is that those boys do not like the cold.
Yeah,
They can't play good in the cold.
Hopefully it'll be warm. It's
No, I'm talking about toward the end of the year.
oh yeah. Yeah.
They don't like playing in the cold. I
It's
saw they
definitely
I saw their play drop off significantly when it got cold.
I don't think Prime likes coaching in the cold.
He don't like. He said he never played in the snow.
Yeah.
I said, "What? Like all these years you played in Baltimore, you never played in the what?
Yeah.
They don't have a dome."
Mm. Did you see that McChesney's going to interview Prime? I think it's Tuesday.
I heard it. I thought it happened already.
I think it's Tuesday at I want to say Tuesday at 12:30. I should look it up.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that.
I could
That's
be
on.
wrong on the date. I think it's the 29th, if I remember. So
No.
that would be what, Thursday
Okay, yeah.
at
Oh
12.
wow, it's a leap year.
What's that?
I said it's a leap year.
I think so.
Okay. 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 All right. So I'm definitely gonna watch that, and I'm happy that that's happening because
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch.
you know the McChesney haters as far as Rawhide them goes, they were saying oh, I'm so happy that he got banned from CU. He's not gonna be at no more. He's not allowed, and for Prime to actually have go sit down and interview with him,
Yeah.
I think that's a surprise. Caught me off guard
Yeah, it caught me off guard as well. I didn't think that Prime would
when
want
I
anything
heard
to do
that.
with him.
Yeah,
All right,
but
man. I'm gonna.
he's always said, um, oh, you fuckers, you think that I'm not good with Prime. I talked to Prime, and I didn't really believe him when he said it, but I didn't I didn't think he was lying. I just thought he was selling it more than it really was. Like
Yes.
I thought Prime was like, I'm cool with you as long as you stay over there. But for
Yeah.
him to actually
Exactly.
be doing an interview,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that interview goes.
yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, I don't. I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's gonna go bad because Coach Prime is not.
Yeah, he's more professional than that. He'll use it for what it's worth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give him everything he needs.
Yep. And
Everything he's
McChesney's
asked.
not going to ask any hard hitting questions. They're going to be all softball questions.
You think so? If he actually does that, I mean, I don't, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's nothing hardball. There's not a hardball question to go right now, being that the time of the year it is. You know,
Yeah.
it's a new energy. All it's a positive energy going through CU right now. So
Yeah.
I don't think he really has no hard questions to actually really ask, unless he's really gonna be, unless he's bitter about last year and he's gonna ask questions about last year.
Yeah. We'll see. I bet you it's going to be soft so that he could get another invite back.
You think he's banned?
I don't think he's banned. I think he got his I do believe that he got his sideline pass taken away.
Oh,
Whether or not that was
but
Prime who did that.
so tell me the story behind it because I heard something,
So
but I don't.
from what I read, and there was a couple reports that he was at, and I think they misstated the game that he was at, that it happened at. They originally said it was the Stanford game, but McChesney said that he wasn't at the Stanford game. So I'm thinking this is one of the other ones that he was there with his son, who's a recruit, and that they were down on the field with a sideline pass, and that at some point he got removed from the sideline because he was, I don't know, trying to run out with Ralphie or something to that effect. And that they told him that he needed to leave the stands. So then he used his influence to go up and bully or whatever to one of the staff members outside the locker room, and he went into the locker room with his son and was standing there listening to the pregame speech. And that in return, by his son running out with Ralphie, it was a game time simulation, which is banned as an
A
NCAA
violation.
violation. Yeah. So they
Oh,
self reported it and took away his sideline pass for the remainder of the season.
uh,
That's how I understand it. Now, McChesney kind of tried to split hairs and he said, well, I wasn't at the Stanford game. And it's like, well, did you get your pass taken at the other games? Nobody ever asked him. Nobody ever asked him that. So
yeah.
he kind of danced a dance around that subject. Um,
I
he
was
just,
watching. I was watching that show, and something happened. I think I went to work or something. I was watching that show that day,
was
and
it
I didn't. Huh?
Chico's show?
No, I was watching the show when he was explaining it, and I didn't get to hear it out because I was working.
Yeah, his explanation was that he was not at the Stanford game.
Yeah, I heard him
That they
say he
closed.
wasn't at the game. Soon as he said he wasn't at the game, I think I had to work. Soon
Yeah,
as I heard him say it, and I had to turn, I turned off the phone. I was like, I'm gonna listen to it later. I don't think I listened to a show since then.
I mean, there's
I might have caught one or two shows, but sometimes he is too much to take in.
oh yeah, he's calmed down. I will say in the last month and a half. I think he realized people were clowning him on different shows,
Mm,
and he kind of did calm down. But for a little while there, he was getting crazy.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Got a kid, but does he have a wife?
He's got a girlfriend. That girl that's on the show with him, that's his
Uh,
girlfriend, Bree.
really?
Yeah.
I guess I can see that. And you
So
could tell
he went to
sometimes
CU
they're
back in
not.
the day. I remember when he played for CU. He had a good senior year. He led the team in tackles, I want to say. Um, and he right before he played for Coach Barnett, right before the um, Fiesta Bowl, he went out and got drunk and picked up a bicycle rack or something and like mangled it, beat up a bike rack, did something stupid on campus, and Barnett banned him from the bowl game.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was, and he had also gotten in trouble for some other stupid things. They were all just minor dumb things, but that was the main thing that I remember. He got banned from the bowl game, and then he was suspended indefinitely. Went off, played NFL. I think he played for the Broncos. Played for, I want to say, I don't. I'd be guessing on the other ones, but I know he played had a stint with the Broncos. He was always hurt, and
Yeah, he
he'll
said got
admit in
hurt.
his shows that he's like,
No,
yeah,
I
shitty
watched the
hurt.
show. I watched the show. He talked about his whole story. I don't remember everything, but I watched it. I know. I got respect for him for that.
He
And
knows. If you ever watch on his channel, he has some game film breakdown. If you watch
uh
that, the guy knows his football.
no,
I
I
mean,
could
he
tell just from what he says. When he says if you're doing this and doing that, and what's the name actually doing what's the coach actually coaching these guys to do? And I when I heard that one time, so I was under the impression that hey, you're an alumni. If you humble yourself and actually offer your help, not go in with this. Oh, I can fix this. This is
yeah,
easy. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, asshole. This is asshole. Asshole.
yeah,
As long as you don't go in doing that, you should be able to go in there. But you seem like you could help.
yeah. I mean, he has a like a granular breakdown of
Yeah,
not
because he
only,
played offensive line and defensive line.
yep. I was gonna say not only offensive and defensive line, which usually those players, they know that position really well. He
Yeah.
knows defensive scheming very well. I was impressed when I watched his videos where he's coaching. He's got a couple of them on his page where
I'm
he
gonna
breaks
watch
down.
him.
Yeah, he breaks down Broncos games. He'll break down some CU games, and when you watch it, you're like, "Whoa, this guy knows his shit."
No, I
He
know it
really
just from
does.
when he talk. Just like
Yeah,
Aurelius, when I hear him talk about the different positions, even though like different coaches and different places they call different names, different things, but when he talks about different positions and what they do, I'm like, oh, he actually know what he's talking about.
yeah,
But then when he talks about being a CU fan, he goes left.
yeah.
I can't say that,
Did you
but
see those cartoons that
he knows
Rawhide made?
teams. Those are the best thing. I'm telling Rawhide he needs to make them a series. He need to give it the cartoon a name, fix the characters, leave the characters to characters, make it a series.
Make them longer.
He's gonna go viral.
Yeah, those are hysterical. I saw those. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm dying."
He's gonna go viral. He he got something there. And
Yeah, he's got.
I literally emailed him. I don't know. I think the first clip that he used, I emailed him that clip. But I emailed him more and I was like, yo, if you email me a image, I could put an image on here instead of using the image from the video because how to short clip the video, it didn't really like position the picture too well. So I don't know if he used. I know that first video he put out, I sent him this audio for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
I
That was
mean,
fantastic.
I had got like 30 clips, but I think from the chopped video, only really like I thought I had 10 to 15. It's probably only six usable clips that was good enough to use.
Gotta
But
find the one where Solid Gold, the first time he tells TV he's gonna beat him up. That was
I gotta go
oh,
look for that.
that's if you ask Rawhide, he knows which one that is. That's hysterical.
I'm gonna find it.
And this is the way he says it. Just, I'm gonna beat you up. That would go perfect as a voiceover. But hey, man, I'm gonna catch some sleep. It's almost 2 a.m. here.
Oh man, I'm
But
off tomorrow and the
oh,
day
you're lucky.
after. I'm off tomorrow and the day after. It's my birthday on Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, yeah. So it's 3:48 here.
Oh shit. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for
Um,
coming up. I'll try to go. This is my first live I've ever done, so I'll try to go live more often.
Yeah, that's good. I haven't been able to go live yet either. So hopefully we could team up and you go
Absolutely.
live, I go live, go live.
I was gonna do a couple videos like during the day. I sat here and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a short clip. I turned it on and I'm like, all right, you ain't got shit to say. And I just turned it right off. Tried it again the next day. I was like, you still don't have shit to say.
I don't know how they do it. I think what's her name is on the road, Sam. But what I think she just read a lot of articles or watch a lot of videos, and she just um piggybacks off of some stuff and
Yeah,
does her thing. But she could talk.
yeah.
She could
I
talk
think
to nobody. I can't. It's hard for me to talk to nobody. I don't know how
yeah,
they do
yeah.
it.
Yeah. You and I should definitely do it. Go team up on that.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
I'm gonna what? I'll put my email in here. It's the outside of sports at Gmail.
Okay. Cool. I'll
Um,
definitely hit you up.
so yeah, hit me up and we can communicate that way.
All right, man. All
All
right,
right.
buddy. You have a good night.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you, man.